Welcome back to the Clean My Space channel. My name is Melissa Maker and I am an accidental cleaning expert standing in the middle of my messy kitchen. And what I thought I would do in this video is show you that if you set a timer and you try to be as efficient as you can accomplish quite a bit in 10 minutes. So I didn't clean this kitchen last night. I didn't clean this kitchen this morning. So this is what an average kind of messy-ish kitchen looks like in my home. I'm gonna give myself 10 minutes on the timer and show you how I get as much done in that chunk of time. My hope is that you can use some of my techniques so that you can cut the amount of time you spend cleaning a space that might otherwise feel overwhelming on a daily basis. And just a quick reminder, if you don't know about this already, we have a newsletter that goes out every 2 weeks. It's called The Dirty Dish, which feels very appropriate given where I'm standing right now. It's got lots of cleaning tips, information, and also some funny and weird cleaning news, because that's me, and I think we need to be entertained when we talk about cleaning. You can click the link down below or go to cleanmyspace.com and you'll see the subscription bubble pop right up. Now look, this isn't a disaster zone cleanup. This is my kitchen after 2 meals that hasn't necessarily been overly maintained or tidied. I left it that way specifically to film this video. So when we think about 10 minutes, that's kind of the amount of time I have between, when my daughter is playing in her toy kitchen and we have to move on to something else. So it's a good chunk of time for me to challenge myself and think how I can get the most work done in that 10-minute time period. It's like listening to 2 songs or 1 short form podcast. So the name of the game is being strategic. Now, these are some of the principles I always talk about: letting tough surfaces be pre-treated and soak while you're doing other tasks, and using the 3 waves. So I'm gonna start by doing my tidying and organizing. You're gonna see me kind of run around the kitchen and collect all of my items, get the dishes going. I'm already gonna be pre-treating some of the dirty areas and the pots and the pans that are gonna require some extra scrubbing. Then I'm gonna take care of the surfaces like counters and the floors if I have time. We're gonna see how much I get done, but the point is, you have to be strategic, kind of like a football coach negotiating a play with the team. You kind of got to think it out in your head before you actually get started. That is how you're going to be the most efficient with your time. Okay, we're going to put 10 minutes on the timer. Now, every now and then I might stop because I have something to tell you, but I'm going to give myself 10 minutes on my timer, set a timer for 10 minutes, and let's see how far I get. First up, I'm gloving up. Now I'm pre-treating anything that I know will require a few minutes of soak time. So I'm adding some baking soda, some warm water, and a little bit of dish soap to this pan. And I'm gonna be spraying down anything else that needs to pre-soak with some soapy water. Now I'm going to load up any of the dishes that are in the sink, and you'll see me work my way around the kitchen in a clockwise manner, kind of tidying up and grabbing dishes and sort of putting things away. This is the first wave of our 3-wave system that helps get a space cleaned quickly. I'm not being too careful here loading things in the dishwasher. I'm not caring too much where they go. It's more about just getting the job done quickly. Okay, now I'm just gonna grab my all-purpose cleaner. I'm gonna spray down the surfaces liberally so they can soak while I'm doing my scrubbing over here. The reason I'm doing this is because the soapy water will help to break down anything sticky or dirty while I'm doing the scrubbing. That way the product is doing the heavy lifting for me. Now, I said spray liberally, which means I'm giving it good sprays, not just, a little sneeze here or there. That way, by the time I'm ready to come back to it, it'll actually still be a little bit wet and enough for me to give a good cleaning to. All right, I'm gonna start scrubbing. That is gonna take the most work, so I'm gonna do that one last and let it soak for as long as it can. I'm quickly wiping this counter up and I'm laying down a waffle weave towel because I'm going to use that section of the counter for all of the things that I'm hand washing to dry. This is why having a really good understanding of the products, tools, and techniques, or the PTTs, is key, because it allows you to work through a volume of work like this really efficiently. Combining the pre-soaking with the right products, tools, and techniques makes cleaning this chickpea curry braiser a much faster job. And on that note, you'll notice I'm using a non-scratching scrub pad. That means that this particular cooking vessel won't get scratched up, but it still does a really efficient job at getting it cleaned. So now that the general surfaces are tidied, I'm going to take a microfiber cloth and clean the surfaces quickly. Oh, and if my overhead exhaust looks funny, that's because there's a part that's been on back order due to COVID for a very, very long time. Now you'll see I'm just sweeping things onto the floor here. I don't really care because my intention is to clean the floor at the end, so I'm not worrying too much if anything falls on the floor. The final thing to do is to scrub the sink and clean the floors. I'm just gonna do a quick sweep or a vacuum, depending on how I feel. I always do the sink last because there's no point of cleaning it while I'm still cleaning the rest of the kitchen. And in this case, I decided to squirt some Barkeeper's Friend in there. Again, I'm using that same non-scratch scrub pad. I'm giving both sinks a really good scrub. I'm gonna warm up the water, just give my sponge a quick clean, wring it out, let it dry, and then I'm gonna give everything a nice rinse down and empty those little sink traps. You'll notice that when I was doing this, my goal was to not repeat work or repeat steps. That's called being efficient while you're cleaning. And I decided to vacuum, let's be honest. Using this vacuum saves me a lot of time. And I'm not going for perfection here, I'm just going for getting the job done. Don't freak out about this box. There are actually very greasy jelly donuts in here that are going right back on the counter and will be eaten later today. So as you have clearly seen, size doesn't necessarily matter, but strategy does when it comes to being efficient at cleaning your kitchen. And that brings me to this week's comment question, which is, in your home, after dinner is done, who does the cleanup? When is that cleanup done? Does the cook do the cleaning? Do the kids help with the cleaning? Do the kids help with the cooking? Does the person who, whatever, I don't know. Let me know what happens in the comments down below. In our house, if Chad hasn't done much around the house, like shoveling or garden work or whatever that day, then I cook. I'm like, you know what, you clean. But if he has done a lot, I'm like, you know what, sit down, have a nice meal, and I'll take care of cleanup after dinner. I am a little resentful, but then I have to remind myself that he did work as well. If you want to learn more about the 3-wave system that I talked about, it totally changed the cleaning game for me. You can check this video out right over here. And if you want to support the Clean My Space channel, you can do so by subscribing to the channel and by checking out the Makers Clean store, where you can get your hands on a whole bunch of our premium microfiber products. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.